Today we will be talking about a fantasy action film called Along with the Gods. Be ready because there are spoilers ahead. In a busy area of Korea, a tall building is burning in flames. A firefighter named Han jumps out of the building while trying to save a civilian's life. His rope burns due to the intense heat, causing him to fall rapidly toward the ground. He misses the safety cushion, and his entire life flashes before his eyes. Surprisingly, he wakes up. After saving a little girl from dying, he stands up and rushes toward her family to check if she is safe. No matter how much he speaks, no one responds to him. Suddenly, he hears someone calling his name from a distance. He sees two well-dressed people smiling at him in the middle of the chaos. Han tells them to move away from the falling debris. Soon, he notices firefighters trying to rescue a man who looks exactly like him. A woman named Chum tells Han that he was a paragon before his death. She explains that they are here to guide him through 7 trials of judgment. Another guardian named Mac tells him that their leader is waiting near the gates of the trials. He says they must go immediately. Han struggles to process everything and slowly walks away. He looks at his fellow firefighters mourning over his dead body. He screams that he cannot die yet because he wants to see his mother. Suddenly, his body begins to rise into the air and moves toward a giant portal. Han continues shouting about his mother. The Guardians feel touched by his love for his parent, even after death. They arrive in another dimension where thousands of souls are heading toward the gates of judgment. Han meets their leader, Rim, who has helped 47 souls reincarnate over the past century. When Rim congratulates him for being a paragon, Han looks away and denies it. He says he is not a good person. They pass through the gates of judgment and are transported to a terrifying place filled with lava called the Mountain of Murder. Mac is shocked and immediately asks Han if he has ever killed someone. Han denies doing anything like that. Rim explains that even causing someone's death indirectly, by failing to act, is judged in these trials. This may be the reason they are there. Han is taken to a large arena where massive doors open beneath the ground. A huge pit of lava is revealed. Punished souls try to escape, but they keep burning in the sea of flames. The prosecutors begin the trial by accusing Han of failing to save one of his colleagues when he had the chance. They claim this mistake led to the man's death. They demand that Han be punished in the lava pit for 5 years to atone for his sin. Rim defends Han and requests a closer investigation into what truly happened during that incident. It turns out that Han did try desperately to save his friend at the scene. However, they were unable to move the heavy stone trapping the firefighter. After realizing the situation was hopeless, his colleague told him to leave and save the other civilians instead. Because of Han's decision, he managed to save 8 people that night. Rim argues that Han's bravery and sacrifice should be considered during the judgment. Seeing his courage in helping others, the judge decides to clear him of the charges. Han is allowed to move on to the next trial. Although he wins the first trial, Han is deeply affected by the memory of his colleague's death. He questions why the Guardians are helping him, as he does not believe he is a paragon. It is revealed that the Guardians have their own motive. They made a deal with the King of Hell, known as Yomra. If they successfully guide 49 souls through the trials and help them reincarnate within a century, they will be allowed to become human again. The group then arrives at the Trial of Indolence. Chum explains all the hard work Han has done throughout his life. Han has never been lazy and has always helped others wherever he could. This includes reckless but brave acts like knocking over a beehive and getting his entire team stung. He also once rescued a stubborn cat from the edge of a building, even though it resulted in damaging the owner's expensive car. The judge is impressed by Han's dedication and orders a statue to be built in his honor. However, she asks why he lived his life with such determination. Han simply replies that he did it for money. Hearing this, the judge immediately changes her decision. She orders that Han be punished. A massive machine chases those guilty of indolence, crushing their bones and feeding them to fish. The Guardians step in to defend Han and plead for a deeper review of his life. They reveal that Han worked hard to support his sick mother and help his younger brother achieve his dream of studying law. Han pushed himself to the limit, often ignoring his own health. His desire for money was not driven by greed but by responsibility. After understanding his true intentions, the judge declares Han not guilty. She recognizes that his actions were driven by love for his family. The group quickly boards a boat to travel to the next trial. Before they can relax, they realize they are being chased by dangerous monsters. The Guardians prepare for battle and fight back using their weapons. They manage to defeat many of the creatures by cutting them down. During the chaos, the leader is knocked off the boat and barely manages to hold on. Mac is forced to defend the group alone while giving his leader time to recover. At the final moment, Mac strikes a massive stone pillar, causing it to collapse. Large rocks fall down, finally saving them from the monsters chasing them. One of the Guardians explains that such events usually occur when a family member of the deceased becomes a vengeful spirit. To prevent further danger, Rim decides to visit Han's family and uncover the truth. He arrives at Han's home and sees that his mother is still alive. This leads him to realize that Han's brother, Sue, must be the one who died and turned into a vengeful spirit. The dark spirit attempts to escape, and Rim immediately chases after it. He tries to stop the spirit using his weapon, but the ghost skillfully dodges his attacks. After a brief clash, the spirit strikes back and pushes Rim away, then disappears. Rim follows the trail left behind and reaches a military base. There, he overhears soldiers talking about Sue and calling him a deserter. He also notices that the captain and another soldier seem to be hiding something suspicious. Rim disguises himself as a colonel and confronts the captain. He accuses him of being responsible for Sue's death. The captain reacts nervously and even tries to threaten Rim, which further confirms his guilt. Meanwhile, Han faces another trial led by the goddess of deceit. She accuses him of writing fake letters and wills in the name of the colleague he failed to save. He gave those letters to the man's daughter, pretending they were from her father. The goddess orders Han to be restrained and prepares to punish him by cutting out his tongue. At that moment, Rim connects with his team through telepathy and steps in to defend Han. It is revealed that Han also wrote fake letters to his own mother. In those letters, he lied about living a successful and wealthy life. Rim explains that Han did all this to comfort the people he loved. He wanted to give them hope and strength to continue living. After understanding his intentions, the goddess forgives Han. She realizes his actions were not meant to harm anyone. After the trial, Rim hides the truth from Han and tells him that his family is doing well. However, he informs the rest of the team about the truth regarding Han's brother. Rim then travels back in time to uncover what really happened on the night of Sue's death. He discovers that a soldier named Don accidentally shot Sue. Instead of helping him, Don immediately contacted their captain. Rather than saving Sue, they decided to bury him and hide the evidence to protect the captain's promotion. Rim is shocked to realize that Sue was still alive when they buried him. This triggers painful memories of Rim's own past, where his father was also buried alive. At the same time, Han arrives at the Hell of Injustice. In this place, souls are frozen for years as punishment for their crimes. Because Han worked as a firefighter, he is spared from judgment in this trial for not helping others. He is allowed to move on to the next stage. During the ride in a cable car, it is revealed that the Guardians have lost their memories. Only their leader, Rim, still remembers his past. Mac tries to stop his teammate from revealing too much. However, he accidentally tells Han that his brother has become a vengeful spirit. After learning the truth, Han becomes emotionally unstable. His reaction shakes the entire realm and causes the cable car to break. The Guardians nearly fall, but Han regains control at the last moment and steadies himself. He then offers to help his team move forward. They arrive at the Hell of Betrayal. A beautiful goddess judges those who have betrayed their loved ones. She punishes them by trapping them inside mirrors and shattering them. Fortunately, Han did not betray anyone during his life. As a result, he passes this trial without punishment and continues onward. At the same time, Rim locates the vengeful spirit at a nightclub. The spirit is attempting to attack one of the soldiers involved in his death. Rim immediately chases after Sue. They engage in an intense battle while flying through the city. Rim eventually traps the spirit using a magical robe and binds him to a building. He tells Sue that he must forgive those who wronged him in order to be reborn. Otherwise, he will be destroyed forever. However, this only reminds Sue of the betrayal he suffered. He remembers being buried alive by his own comrades. Overcome with rage, he unleashes a powerful shockwave and breaks free. Meanwhile, Don, overwhelmed with guilt, drinks heavily. Unable to carry the burden any longer, he reveals the location of Sue's body to his mother. The mother looks at the map and finally learns where her son is buried. Sue watches all of this from behind her. After witnessing Don's remorse, Sue returns to Rim. He tells him that he has decided to forgive. Sue asks Rim to act as a medium so he can speak to Don one last time. He promises to continue the trials afterward. Through Rim, Sue speaks to Don and tells him that he forgives him. He also tells him not to waste any more tears on the past. Meanwhile, Han reaches the Hell of Violence. He sees a massive pit that he must jump into to proceed. Han leaps into the pit and crashes onto a large rock below. Mac quickly jumps in and catches his teammate, landing safely beside him. However, Han accidentally collides with them, causing all three to fall again. They begin plunging deeper into the pit. Mac rushes to help, while Han grabs the girl and tries to protect her from the impact, just as he did before his death. Surprisingly, their fall stops suddenly at the last moment. After reaching the bottom, the next trial begins. The trial of violence begins. The prosecutors accuse Han of beating his younger brother during high school. They argue that this act was especially cruel because his brother was already weak from malnutrition due to their poverty. They also point out that Han never asked for forgiveness. Instead, he ran away from home the very next day and never returned. The judge quickly declares Han guilty of committing violence against his own family. She prepares to send him into a pit where souls are endlessly struck by falling rocks as punishment. Just as the sentence is about to be carried out, Chum urgently asks the judge to delay the decision. She requests that the final trial be reviewed together with the current one, as both are closely connected. This decision is extremely risky. If Han is found guilty in the next trial, the Guardians will lose all their powers in the afterlife. Soon, the truth about that night is revealed. Sue woke up and saw Han kneeling beside their mother. Confused, he asked what Han was doing. He then realized that Han was trying to suffocate their mother with a pillow. Sue immediately tried to stop him. In response, Han dropped the pillow and began punching his brother in anger. It is revealed that Han felt completely hopeless at that time. Their family was extremely poor, and their mother was seriously ill. Han believed that that ending their lives was the only way to end their suffering. After the incident, he was overwhelmed with guilt. This is why he ran away and never returned home. After learning the truth, the Guardians lose hope. They realize that winning the trials will now be extremely difficult, especially with the final trial approaching. Meanwhile, Rim is trying to guide Sue back to his body so he can begin his own journey toward reincarnation. When they arrive at the military camp, Sue is shocked to see his mother there. She is begging the soldiers to take her to her son's body. The army captain reacts harshly and tears up her papers. He pushes her to the ground, causing her to lose consciousness from exhaustion. Seeing his mother being mistreated by the man responsible for his death, Sue is consumed by rage. He transforms once again into a powerful, vengeful spirit. He breaks free from his restraints and grabs Rim, throwing him away with immense force. Sue's anger grows uncontrollably, turning into a massive tornado that engulfs the soldiers. A gateway to the afterlife opens as chaos spreads everywhere. The spirit begins destroying everything around him while Rim struggles to protect the people nearby. At that moment, Mac enters the living world through the portal. He charges towards Sue and strikes him, breaking a large structure and briefly stunning him. Rim quickly takes advantage of the moment. He rushes forward and captures Sue using a magical technique. Rim binds Sue with a magical rope, finally stopping his rampage. Meanwhile, Han's final trial begins elsewhere. King Yomra himself appears to judge the case. The king accuses Han of attempting to kill his own mother and attacking his brother during a desperate time. He also reveals that Han's mother knew about the incident, but chose to remain silent, keeping the pain hidden in her heart. This makes Han's actions seem even more serious. The king declares that Han deserves eternal punishment for trying to harm the person who gave him life. Suddenly, the entire realm begins to shake. A voice starts speaking to Han's mother. It is revealed that Rim has used his power to allow Sue to communicate with her through a dream. Sue apologizes on behalf of his brother. He explains that Han has worked tirelessly for 15 years to support the family after that incident. He did this out of guilt for his past actions. To everyone's surprise, the mother says she forgave Han long ago. She also apologizes for not being able to provide a better life for her children. Hearing this, Han breaks down in tears. Even the king is moved by this moment of forgiveness and love. As a result, the king decides to lift all charges against Han. Since the victim has already forgiven him, there is no reason for further punishment. Han is finally allowed to be reincarnated. He thanks the Guardians for guiding him through the trials before disappearing into a bright light. Back in the human world, Rim decides to guide Sue as their 49th soul. By completing their mission, the Guardians hope to fulfill their deal with the king and become human again. The group then arrives at the Hell of Filial Impiety. They face countless demons and fight their way forward to reach the King of Hell. So, what do you think about this movie? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. I will see you in the next one.